Hey peoples, so in my last video, I went over some tips that I wish I knew as I was on this animal career path in high school. I felt like it might be helpful to make a detailed video kind of elaborating on what I would do. High school is a pretty broad range of ages and not everybody has the same abilities to get experiences. So I just wanted to make a video that would help tell how I got my experience, whether I was at the age of 13 or under, between middle school and high school, and then further into my adulthood. So here's some tips on how I would try to get animal experience at any age range. So if you're under the age of 13, this is what you want to know about what employers or people who are looking for volunteers or to hire people around your age range are probably thinking. There are a range of tedious tasks that professionals have to do on a daily basis, and they look for people like you to fill those gaps. They find those skills so simple and basic that most times they do not pay for them, and they just find them as like an opportunity for people to volunteer and do something kind. For example, if you are under the age of 13 and a veterinary clinic allows you to volunteer for them and get some experience from them, 9 times out of 10, they will have you doing laundry or cleaning kennels or feeding the animals. You get what I mean? They do not want to feel like they have to babysit somebody. So the best thing that you can do if you are trying to get experience at this age is to show that you know how to handle these tasks without needing a babysitter. And in fact, if you can take it a step further and do those jobs better than they would have themselves, that puts you in an even better position to have more value to them than they originally thought you did. The more you do stuff like this, the more likely you are, if you're in a great work environment, to be promoted to better opportunity. And then on top of that, if you're really smart at this age, if you can start to look in the future into what types of skills they're looking for at jobs that you're interested when you get into high school or beyond, if you can choose to get experiences that align with that, that helps you master a skill. And the more you're somebody who can offer services that are mastered, you can start getting really high paying skills. And it's really rare to find opportunities that would pay you at this age. And if they are 9 times out of 10. Actually, I would even emphasize 10 times out of 10, probably exploiting you. Figure out what's worth it to you in the long run and currently. For example, some of the jobs and things that I did during that age that I felt like were worth it to me were zoo youth programs. Whether I was traveling to visit my sister in the summer in New Orleans or staying at home in the DMV, I was researching on the internet youth programs. There are so many places and opportunities that have programs for people our ages. Even BlendVet, one of the companies that I work for now, one of the big portions of their mission is helping the youth get access to resources to help learn more about the veterinary path. Another place you can get experience is literally in your neighborhoods, in your houses. If you can get experience pet sitting early, that makes it so that you can charge higher rates when you're at an older age that's more trusting. You can pet sit, you can offer grooming if that's something that you're interested in your animal career path. There's a lot that you can offer to those around you because a lot of people are just looking for convenience. But yeah, you can get experience like clipping toenails or just doing services that you would end up doing as a veterinary assistant in the clinic, but you can gain that experience through the people around you. If it's hard for like your family to help you get transportation to other opportunities, you can message somebody in the field at that age. Like I can imagine if somebody that was like 13 or 12 or even 8 messaged me and said that they wanted to get some experience in some sort of way, it makes me happy to just give them a resource. I can find a way to help that person, even if it's not exactly giving them an opportunity that's for me. I have access to other resources that are looking for somebody like them. And so it doesn't hurt to message somebody in the field, message a professional. 9 times out of 10, or most cases, they really do want to help. And last but not least, local clinics, shelters, rescues, all of the above, they're always looking for busy work. Nobody wants to be mopping. Nobody wants to be cleaning up dog crap. Nobody wants to be taking phone calls. And when I was around, I think 13, one of the clinics that I first worked with allowed me to like put people on hold. And then within 3 months, I knew how to like answer calls and like help even potentially make appointments. I wasn't really that far because that is a whole big ordeal. However, I was able to check in with somebody and be like, hey, like, I actually think this would be a good spot. And they'd say, oh, wow, that's a good idea. Yeah, it really helped to learn those kinds of skills early on. And if I was in middle or high school, I think the hardest part about the age range that you're in is finding a place that will hire you that works for your lifestyle. A lot of people, a lot of places really are looking for people within your age range because 9 times out of 10, you're most likely willing to take minimum wage. That's probably like an up for you. I don't know. I feel like middle schoolers and high schoolers these days, you guys move fast. Like a lot of you have your own businesses. So maybe my information is a little outdated. I don't know, let me know. But when I was in middle school and high school, I think the hardest part for me was actually finding somewhere that worked for my lifestyle. So was I able to transport there? How far were they from where I lived? What was my schedule in school? You know what I mean? Did it have to be only something that I could do during the summers? Would they accept me during the summers? You know, and what kind of skills were you gaining? Like, for example, if they have you just doing the mopping and folding of towels, that is stuff that you did when you were 13. So it's really, really hard for you to find places that see the value of you. It's like you're a fish in the ocean. Think of the ones in like Nemo that like were all moving in flow and they would make like arrows together. It's like they cannot distinguish the value of you and the other fish. As long as you're helping with like the general big image, you and who you are as an individual doesn't make a difference. Just make the system flow. And so what you can kind of do in a situation like that is recognize, okay, that's how they're gonna see me. So I'm gonna push myself to the front in the point of the arrow. Show them that you're somebody that takes initiative. The first fish in this analogy helps the other fish fall in line and makes the system. However, do not allow yourself to get exploited in the workspace that you're in. It is very easy for that to happen. So find what makes it worth it for you to take that initiative as well. Because if you think that it's getting paid more or them treating you fairly, that's not always gonna happen. And so you have to be prepared for what it means if the space that you're in or the space that you plan to be isn't necessarily aligning with what your wants and goals are. But yeah, anyways, just to emphasize, it's still important during this time to be something that is of convenience for management. Whatever you do that makes it so that they can manage things less over time, 9 times out of 10, that makes you somebody that when they get called as a reference for you or a future opportunity, they're like, oh yeah, this person made my life easier. They're definitely gonna make yours. And if you decided that this is your path somewhere in your adulthood and you're trying to gain experience at this age, I would just say to you, it is 1,000,000% easy to get into this field. Like if you are somebody who's never been a vet assistant, but you wanna become one, your background is in like working as a server in a restaurant or you were an engineer, they are like, oh, okay, you showed me that you're smart and capable in another system. Great, it's very easy to integrate into the system. Yeah, it's actually really easy to work in a clinic without experience because that's how they got a lot of the people that end up being a manager at some point. Almost every clinic I went to, there was one manager or one person that's been there for a long time who like their start was like in a whole another field. They wanted to be in fashion or they wanted to be in a nurse actually. I actually met one person who was a tech for like 20 years and he came to the US because he wanted to be a nurse and just switched over. So that being said, it is really, really easy to start getting experience at this age. The hard part is finding experience that's worth coming back to. You genuinely need to think hard and long about how much time you're willing to spend each week. What type of animals do you prefer? That is not something that I really honed in on early in my career, and I'm happy that I did now before I went into vet school. What kind of work do you want? What kind of work are you willing to do? You know, I worked as a foster coordinator. That taught me a lot of things about the rescue side of things. I volunteered at a zoo. That taught me a lot about that area. I've worked in an array of clinics, just dogs, just cats, dogs, cats, and exotic animals. And that taught me a lot. And I learned very quickly, like, you know, I'm somebody that doesn't like to be capped in a space. I like to keep being grown, and that's not always available in certain spaces. And I'm somebody that actually has a lot of boundaries that need to be set. I have a lifestyle outside of my career and I need that to be respected. So yeah, it's very easy to get experience. It's very hard to figure out experience that is worth maintaining when you're starting out. But I will say the more experience you get and the broader the experience, the easier it is to get yourself in alignment with things and opportunities that make sense for you. So that being said, get experience as soon as possible. and you can get it at any age. I know I didn't go too in depth with this video. I really just wanted to like help with some big picture concepts, because it's really easy to be told something at a young age or just at any age and then not be exposed to new information for a long time. So I just was hoping that this video would provide just a little bit more information for those who feel behind in their ability to get animal experience. One of my favorite places to get jobs is Indeed. That's where I got a lot of my experience. Other than that, it's networking or reaching out to people, like just literally identifying people or places that have something that you're looking for and then telling them the story of why you think that you and them are a great fit. And 9 times out of 10, like one of those two got me in a position or opportunity that I was looking forward to. So yeah, good luck on your journey to gaining some animal experience. And if you ever want some more information on that journey, I would love to provide that. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I will comment back. But that's all for this video, and I will see you guys next time.